Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Great Reawakening and our first webinar for the series, which is Awaken, how to awaken your natural abilities to manifest anything you want in life. I am Jen Mazer, the Queen of Manifestation, and I'm so grateful to have you here with us live on our first webinar for this series. So welcome, welcome, everybody. Yay, we're going to have a lot of fun today. My plan is for this live masterclass to go for about an hour. So that is my plan. I will be on till the end to answer any questions you have live. So you can comment. I already see some comments. Welcome, Stacy. I'm glad you're excited for these classes. Me too. I created an all new series. Hi, Desiree. For you all specifically about this time and why it's important, I think, for all of us to manifest, not just for our own lives, but for the world, because there is a lot of change happening and we get to be a part of that change. We get to manifest for ourselves and for society. So I'm super excited to help you out. Today is really all about awakening your natural abilities to manifest. I do have slides, so I'm going to show my slides. I recommend that you get out a pen and a piece of paper so you can take notes. Hi, Danette. Hi, Sharon. Because I'm going to have some prompts for you today. And then towards the end of our call, I'm going to be doing some giveaways too. So we have prizes for those of you who are joining us live. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is just the very first masterclass in this series. We have two more. So it's today and then on Thursday and on Sunday. So, if you can you guys hear things? I'm going to turn my volume up and make sure. Kelly said she can't hear anything, but it might just be Kelly. Okay, so everybody else can hear. Awesome. So cool. I'm going to share my slides so we can get started. Hi, Manon. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. Awesome. So feel free to say hello and where you guys are coming from in the chat. Okay, so the Great Awakening. We are on our first masterclass series, Awaken. So I'm going to be sharing, as I said, how to awaken your natural abilities to manifest anything you want in life. And I'm going to share the little known 6-part structure that allows anyone to manifest their visions no matter who they are. So I am thrilled. Yes. All right. So you are all in the right place. If you're ready to stop settling, you're tired of manifesting the same old things. Yeah. You want to understand more about how manifestation truly works. You probably already know about manifestation. I recognize some of you in here who've done manifestation masters, or maybe you're new to me, but you want to up your game. You're tired of hustling and pushing to make your goals happen, and you're ready to manifest your dreams now. You might be overwhelmed with everything that's happening right now, which is totally okay. And you want help pivoting your mindset, and you're ready to awaken, right? Awaken your natural abilities for manifesting anything you want in your life. Yes, hello everybody. And I see some people who've done money masters. Awesome. Yes, yes. Okay, so here's how to get the most out of this masterclass or webinar. And I say this for all of my classes. I really think it's important to be focused because you'll get the most out of it. So if you turn your phone off or silence it and put it away, get off of social media, just focus on this. Center your complete attention on this class. Take notes, as I said, be present and remain receptive to learning something new. So some of this might feel like, oh, I've heard this before, but let's just be open to what we can get out of this. Maybe there'll be something new that you haven't heard before. Or maybe you'll have an aha because you've heard something before, but you're hearing it in a different way. So we're going to remain open. Okay, so my intention for you today is really for us to all leave the call with a better understanding about this 6-part system for manifesting so you can understand how to apply it in your life. And so you realize that anything is possible. It's really all about opening up to possibilities today. I'm going to share why now is such an important time to do this because, first of all, we are all waking up to a new world. And I'm going to share some significant dates that have been happening so far in September. So, September 12th, Jupiter, which is the planet or the giver of good luck, which we might know Jupiter as like good luck, abundance, right? So Jupiter has been retrograde since May 14th, which might have been something that we've all felt in different ways, but not realized that one of the aspects of why things might not have seemed like they're going our way has been because Jupiter has been retrograde, and Jupiter is the planet of good luck and abundance. So it went direct September 12th, which is awesome. So now things are starting to move ahead. And all summer, we had so many planets in retrograde. Um, so, Mars is still in retrograde right now, which I've talked about in my emails. There's nothing wrong with that. It's really all about making sure that our practices are there, and we've got plans and we know what we're doing so that we can make the most out of Mars in retrograde. But when you had like 4 planets all in retrograde, things felt really slow in our lives. So Jupiter went direct September 12th. So this is a really good thing. We just celebrated equinox. Many of you were on my Facebook Live that I did. If you weren't, you can watch the replay. I did a fall equinox live for people in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's spring equinox for you. But that happened on September 22nd, and equinox, it's like a fresh beginning, right? It's an opportunity to reevaluate things from the past 6 months and set our intentions for the next 6 months, compost what we didn't want, so we can transmute that energy into what we really are manifesting right now. And then we just had Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and Yom Kippur. And, even if you don't celebrate these holidays, it's just cool to look at equinox, Jupiter, all of these things that are happening that allow us to reset, right? And my whole thing is that it's this reawakening, and it's a time that, okay, it's September, but this gets to be a new beginning for all of us, right? And today, which is why I'm super excited that I'm starting off the series today, September 29th, Saturn went direct today. So many of you have been like, I had a private session with a client earlier before this masterclass, have been talking about feeling a shift just today. That's because Saturn went direct. So now Jupiter and Saturn are direct, which is really awesome. And Saturn is direct in Capricorn. By the way, Jupiter is direct in Capricorn too. And Saturn was retrograde since May also. So Saturn is helping us benefit from new habits. So this is a really great time. It's the same thing as what we talked about with equinox and also with Mars being retrograde. It's about creating new habits for us to manifest. So these are all exciting things, right? If you don't hear a sound, I think it's your system. So just check to make sure your volume is up on the actual play button, because other people are saying they hear sound. And I can see all of your names. So hi, everybody. Yeah, help each other out in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so this is a new beginning. Right now is a great time of change. And I've been talking about this if you've joined me for other master classes in the past. I really believe when we went into this whole quarantine, COVID-19 time, way back in March, if you can remember, this was like 6 months ago, we were going into this cocoon place, right? So we were caterpillars before, living our lives happily or maybe not so happily and just settling as caterpillars. And now we get to come out as butterflies, especially now that these planets are starting to go direct. This is our time that we get to fully manifest our visions in the world. So this whole process of metamorphosis, we've grown butterflies at home. We've had caterpillars cocooned in our house that actually came out as butterflies. And we got to see this whole process unfold before our eyes, which if anybody's seen it or watched a video, it's so magical, right? you're really literally not the same, right? It's an entire new body that forms. Even the caterpillar sheds its skin. There's so many stages of growth, so that it can grow bigger and bigger and bigger as it moves along in the life cycle. So all of us, we're not caterpillars, right? But we all have things that we can shed, things that we can release and let go of, so that we can make space for the new things that we're manifesting, so we can go out into the world fully immersed as whatever we're meant to be. It might be totally different than who we were before COVID-19, right? It might be similar. It might have reawakened a yearning that we've had for years. I have clients who, have wanted to manifest things, or they've had a business idea for like 10 years that's been on the back burner, but because maybe they got let go of their job, or their business was in events and they had to pivot what they were doing, now they get to work on that project that's been on the back burner for 10 years. So whatever your situation is, there's always a opportunity in the obstacle, right? That's allowing you and kind of pushing you into this new place that you're meant to be at, in order to manifest. So I am excited. All right, so you get to ask yourself these questions. What new world do I want to create? Who do I want to be in that world? And what do I want to be doing? Right? So I've shared this before. We live in a participatory universe, right? We're all participants. We're not just observers of our lives. We're not victims of our circumstances. In terms of the law of attraction and manifestation and quantum physics, we get to fully show up, and how we show up, how we are showing up in the world and vibrating, affects everyone else around us, not just our own lives, right? So the truth is, you can't see what you don't know. And most people are overcomplicating the manifesting process. It's a lot easier than you think. That's why my book is called Manifesting Made Easy, right? So if you want to manifest your big dream, you have to understand how this process truly works. So before I get into my 6-part system, I'm going to go in depth into that today. I want to share a little bit more about me. Many of you have known me for a while. Some of you are new to me. And I'm excited to share who I am if you are new to me. So I just want to double check. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm seeing some people who are having trouble hearing. So, okay, good. Everybody can hear. So for the people who are having trouble hearing, can you help them out in the chat? All right. So my friends actually gave me the nickname Queen of Manifestation years ago because I have always been able to manifest outrageous things. I was the friend in my group who every time we got together, I had an outrageous story of something that I manifested. And honestly, I think my one girlfriend nicknamed me the Queen of Manifestation because I manifested living rent-free in the East Village of Manhattan for 10 years in an apartment that I renovated with a jacuzzi. I mean, it was amazing. I lived there all of my 20s. I paid off over $38,000 of debt in less than a year. I had my artwork published in the New York Times, New York Magazine. Now I've been in Fast Company, Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan, so many other publications. Traveled the world, met my soulmate, who happens to be a successful musician. Gave birth to our daughter at home. I'm planning another home birth with our next baby that's due very soon. So I'm excited about that, and started a green school in Africa. So thanks. Yeah. So these are just, you might have seen me share some photos before, but these are things that I dreamed up. My vibration and who I was being in the world, I started attracting people who were a vibrational match, right? So people who I used to admire and look up to, I started hanging out with or becoming friends with. I'm at the top with Reverend Michael Beckwith at Agape Spiritual Center in LA, or with Erica Badu, or backstage at the UN with Whoopi Goldberg, hanging out with Marie Forleo or Deepak Chopra on the lower left, Jeff Walker and Michael Franti, who actually is how I met my soulmate, who's a friend. And on the bottom, Barbara Marx Hubbard, who passed away, and Lynn Twist, who are spiritual leaders, and Lynn is the author of The Soul of Money. And Lynn, who's next to me on the bottom right, is the one who said the quote, what you appreciate appreciates, which I love. I love sharing her quote about gratitude, really. What you appreciate appreciates. That is Lynn's quote. So anyway, you have dreams that, and people and situations that you want to manifest. And this is your opportunity to create whatever it is that you want in your own life. I've been all over the world. I've taken people to Bali and Peru. I lived in India. I studied yoga there, got certified to teach. I lived in an ashram. There's me on a cruise, which now we're not doing those anymore. So I'm glad I got to do that. And me in Africa when we were building our green school with the principal. I'm holding the camera on the left. And the principal's walking with two little kids. Okay, so some of you have heard this story before and some of you have never heard it, but I get asked all the time, how did you manifest living rent-free in Manhattan for over 10 years? So I'm taking a sip of water. I want to share how I actually manifested that, because there's some really great takeaways for all of you. There's some beautiful lessons that I think you can use in terms of how you can apply this to your life, especially right now. So I was actually living on this block in the East Village. I was in art school at the time at NYU, and I was being supported by my parents in college. So I was very lucky. And I had two roommates at the time. And I was off campus living with two artists in New York, paying a lot of money. It was like $1,000 a month for rent just for my bedroom to share this apartment with these two other women. And one day I was walking on the block and I saw a woman outside this purple building. And I'd always noticed this purple building because it was purple and it's a block with all brownstones. And it really stood out and had this handmade wrought iron gate in front that I thought was so beautiful. So this woman and I started talking, and this was years ago. In the East Village, you really knew your neighbors. So there weren't lots of people who were passing through. And so I started talking to my neighbor, and she told me that she didn't pay any rent. And my eyes lit up. And I thought, oh my gosh, like she's not paying rent to live on the same block that I'm paying $1,000 a month to share a room with roommates on. And so I was so curious and I wanted to find out how I could get an apartment in that building so I didn't have to pay rent. And this woman told me that they had a theater downstairs, that they put in a 30-seat theater. They converted one of the apartments into a little black box theater, and they put on concerts and plays. And she had put on a play. She was going to be directing this play that was going to basically start in like 2 weeks. And so she invited me to come and see the play. And so I said, yeah, I'd love to come see your play. And really, I had this intention in the back of my mind. I want to see the play to find out how I can get a place in the building. So I went to the play, and actually, to my surprise, it was a very good play. I enjoyed myself. And after it was over, I'm sitting there and I met the two people at the time who were in charge of the building. And I talked to them and I said, listen, I would love to live here. Is there an apartment available? And to my surprise, they said, yes, but we only have an apartment available for someone who can design a website for our theater. Now, I had never made a website ever in my life before this. This was way back before there were any platforms to, help you design a website. You had to understand HTML and code. But I was in art school at the time at NYU, and I was taking a computer science class. So I figured I could figure it out, right? So I said, yes, I can design a website for your theater. And so the people who were running the building, they said, okay, well, you have 2 weeks to show us that you can design a website. So I had 2 weeks, not to do the theater website, but just to prove to them that I could do a website. So in 2 weeks, I taught myself web design. I taught myself HTML. and I made a website. And basically, the rest is history. I moved into the building. I lived there for my entire 20s, and it was incredible. I had my own apartment. I renovated it because I wasn't paying rent. I had my jacuzzi. I redid the kitchen. And, we had events in the theater all the time. And I got to put on my own events. And every Christmas, the jazz musician Wynton Marsalis would come and play a concert for us in the theater. And in 2003, we recorded the concert and put out an album with Blue Note Records. And it was nominated for a Grammy in 2005, I guess it was. I might have my years wrong. It might have been 2004 that we recorded it. And then the Grammy was in 2005. But that's literally the album. It's live at the House of Tribes with Wynton Marsalis. And, I have so many amazing memories from that building, and from living there and having kind of infinite possibilities. None of it would have happened if I hadn't listened to my inner desire. When I lit up and my ears perked and I saw the opportunity in front of me, I could have just said, that's crazy. That could never happen, right? I could have not gone to the theater that this play that she was producing and directing. But I went, and I could have not asked if there was an apartment available, but I said yes. And when they said it needed to be someone who could design a website and I didn't know what I was doing, I could have said, oh, I don't know how to do that. But I said yes, and I figured it out, right? I figured, what's the worst thing that could happen? So the lesson is, say yes even before you're ready, right? You can figure it out. Get clear on the what, and you can figure out the how, right? Because if you're not clear, the universe doesn't know what to bring you. So there's so many lessons there, but it's really like, listen to your gut, and then you can figure the rest out. But get clear on the what. The how is the easy part. There's other people who've done what you've done before, even if it's a new version or iteration of something. There's someone who's done something similar. You can always find a mentor or get help on the how. Get clear on the what. So, I've taught thousands of people over the past 9 years how to get clear on their purpose, start living their dream life now, clear their blocks to abundance, and step into their visions. And honestly, most people overcomplicate this process. It's so much simpler than we are making it out to be. So I want to share how manifestation really works, and then I'm going to get into my 6-part system in more detail and have you do some exercises to help you get even more clear. And I'm going to do a guided visualization at the end of the call as well, and give away some prizes. So that's what we've got in store. So let me just share a little bit more about how manifestation really works. I love this analogy of sitting in a restaurant, right? So if we think about, we are all in a restaurant and the universe is the kitchen. So we are placing our orders to the universe. The universe is a yes universe. It's a mirror to our desires. So we are simply getting clear, what is your order for the universe? And then we're placing our order in when we set an intention, and the universe is going to deliver our order. So when you are at a restaurant, right? And let's say this is one of my favorite restaurants. This picture of me is at ABC Kitchen in New York City. I highly recommend it if you're in New York. Really good organic food. So let's say you're at your favorite restaurant, right? And you are looking at what you want to order, right? What are your intentions that you are going to manifest? Now, when most people are sitting down and looking at the menu, and the waiter comes to take your order, if you're at your favorite restaurant, chances are you have a favorite item on the menu, something that you order all the time, over and over again. I have favorite things at my favorite restaurants. I'm sure you do too, right? Can you relate? Here's the thing. Most of us subconsciously, when we are manifesting, we are reordering the same thing over and over again without even realizing it. It's because we're comfortable with what we know. So in order to manifest something new, we need to step out of our comfort zone. And we might say we're not totally happy with our lives, right? Or we're settling, But the truth is, there's some level of comfort there because it's all we know. And anything new that you want to manifest, just by virtue of it being new, means we don't know what it's going to feel like because it's new. And so it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. So if you're looking at the menu at a restaurant and there's a special that day, and the special has all the ingredients that you love, but you've never had it before and you're not sure, you're nervous, you might not like it, I encourage you to order the special, right? It's just like, it's very similar to the way that I manifested living rent free for 10 years in Manhattan, right? It's like, go for it. Go for the special. It's scary. It feels scary, but it's exciting at the same time. What if you love it, right? So go into that area of discomfort. It's reframing discomfort. When you start to get uncomfortable, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means you're about to grow. And when you place your order into the restaurant, then the kitchen starts to make your order. So if you order this special and you're at a pizza restaurant, a really nice wood-fired pizza restaurant, and you order a really exciting pizza, and then in your head you are second guessing your order, right? The waiter already took your order to the kitchen started making the pizza, it is in the oven, and you're in your head at your seat thinking, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have ordered the pizza. What am I going to do? I'm not supposed to have gluten and dairy. I'm going to feel so gross. I should have ordered my vegan kale Caesar salad, right? And you're in your head and you're sending mixed signals to the universe because the universe or the kitchen already started making your order. Are you going to run into the kitchen and tell them, stop, I wanted a vegan kale Caesar salad? No. And we do this all the time in our own heads. We say we want one thing. We might start to take action on that one thing that we say we want. But then if it's not working out, we're coming up against some obstacles, then we doubt that we made the right decision, or we say it's not, it's impossible, I can't do this, and we give up. Or, again, all these mixed signals that we're sending. So instead, I always encourage people to see it through, so you get the physical manifestation of what you ordered or the intention that you put into the universe, because that's how the universe works, right? You're going to get your order. So even if you're sitting in the restaurant and it's taking a really long time for your food to show up, you're not going to leave the restaurant not having eaten. Yes, it might be annoying and frustrating, and you might need to go and wave the waiter down and remind them that you placed an order and to check on it, right? But you're going to get served. And I think a lot of times people give up on their dreams when it's taking a long time to show up physically. I had a woman earlier I was talking to today who was, wanting to give up on one aspect of her life. It wasn't all aspects of her life. It was just this one particular aspect, her soulmate. She was successful in business, but she didn't believe that she could manifest her soulmate because of experiences that she's had before that were proving her thought right. So I always say, whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, you're right. We can always prove anything to ourselves. We can look for evidence to prove whatever our belief is. So let's look for evidence that what we want is possible versus it isn't possible. Again, we can find evidence to prove either one, right? So we're looking for evidence that it is possible, and let's keep going till we actually experience the physical manifestation. So that is how manifestation really works. And I want to get more in depth with this, okay? So noticing synchronicities, and that's my book, and I have it behind me as well, Manifesting Made Easy. I always love sharing this story because it's I get chills every time I talk about it. So in terms of manifesting, I talked about placing your order, right? Getting clear on what you want and the universe bringing it to you, that the universe is the kitchen, right? And we're just placing our order. So I actually said out loud that I think I have a book within me. And I said it out loud for the first time on the phone with my coach. And I hadn't ever thought about writing a book before. I've been doing work as the queen of manifestation. I had my blog, I had my clients and my programs, but I never had an idea for a book. And all I did was claim it and tell her that I think I have a book within me. And like any good coach, she said, "Awesome, Jen, I can help you." Um, but I took no action on it. I just placed my order, right? I didn't start writing it. And a week later, literally, I got an email through the contact form on my website. Now, this was my old, not updated website where anybody who emailed me through the contact form was usually spam. And it was from a publishing company. And they said, "Hi, Jen, we really love your voice on your blog. We'd love for you to write a book, something like Manifesting Made Easy." And I saw this and I thought, is this for real? Like, I just said that I want to write a book. And immediately my mind was playing tricks on me, like, no, this is not possible, right? Can you guys relate? This is too good to be true. This can't be real. I thought, oh, this has to be some sort of scheme. They want me to pay them to write a book or something. But I Googled the publishing house. It was a small publishing house I had never heard of, but it was a legitimate publishing company. I liked some of their other titles. And so I agreed to get on the phone with them. And they offered me a paid book deal to write my book. Now, my dream publishing company was Simon and Schuster. And this was a small publishing house that I'd never heard of. Okay. And they offered me this paid book deal. So I reached out to my one friend at the time who was a published author, a fiction writer. And I said, hey, do you know any literary agents who might be interested in working with me? I'd love to get someone who can help me negotiate my book deal, because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have to write a book proposal. It happened a totally different way than I was expecting, way easier than I was expecting. And so she reached out to a few literary agents who she knew and introduced me. And all of the literary agents who she introduced me to said no, except for one woman. But it only took one woman. It only took one. You don't need all the yeses, right? So all those no's weren't the right fit. She said yes, and she helped me negotiate my book deal. Now, as I'm writing my book, my small publishing house gets bought by Simon and Schuster, right? My dream publishing company. So now I am a Simon and Schuster published author. Not only that, when you have a publishing deal for a book, the publishing company designs your book cover for you. So I'm writing this book, they are designing my cover, and they send it to me. They email me what they're thinking. And my publishing company has no idea that at the same time that I'm writing my book, I also am creating a board game called Sparked with one of my friends, Lisa. And we're doing this on our own. And we had made a prototype and we were getting it made in China, but it was already designed. It was not out on the market. Nobody knew about it. And this is my board game, Sparked. And you can see the colors actually more closely match behind me than in these photos. But they look the same. They're both turquoise with gold sparks. And I thought, this is crazy. What a synchronicity. It was not a branding decision. It was the universe showing me, look, right? It was meant to be. And this happens so often in our lives, right? Where we have those synchronicities and we notice, oh my gosh, we get chills. Wow. The book and the game totally matched, right? I'm so happy to hear of the people that are commenting that my book changed your life. I love that you loved it. Thank you. But yeah, just remembering that there's so much more, that it's bigger than you, right? You can't make things up. I couldn't have made up. I thought when I had my idea to write a book that I would have to write a book proposal and it would take a long time and all these things. It happened so fast, right? Even one of my clients from Manifestation Masters messaged me yesterday. Hey, Jen, how long did it take you to write your book? And I said, gosh, I can't remember. I think it was like 6 months, because it was so fast. It was, the publisher had a a date that they wanted me to be done by. And I had already written so much through my programs. I was teaching this. So it was really easy for me to write. It didn't need to take a long time, right? So things can happen in a totally different way than you are expecting them to happen. We can make them easier. Even Spark was just a side project, right? But I decided to say yes to my friend Lisa when she came up with this idea to create a board game for adults. Specifically, we had women in mind when we created the game. That was a positive game and fun, but talked about real things, empowering each other to help people manifest. So we created Sparked. We raised over $60,000 on Kickstarter in 30 days to manufacture the game. And then that led to me getting asked to play Sparked at TED, right? I mean, just crazy things that I could have never made up on my own, right? And then we get an email from Lincoln Motors asking us to be in a car commercial. I kid you not, acting as ourselves. So I get this email. Again, it's one of those things like, is this for real? But yes, Lincoln asked me and my partner Lisa to be in a car commercial. And we got to talk about Sparked and why we created it. And it was incredible. So there's so much, opportunity there that, again, you could never see. Not only were we in the car commercial, but I got paid. And not only that, it was like free advertising, right, for our board game. So many amazing things that can happen when you say yes to your vision. So here's my easy 6-part system for manifesting. The first step is to demystify the manifestation process, okay? And I believe we just kind of did that, honestly. I just kind of went over part 1 with you right now. So it's really, how does manifestation actually work, right? So that you understand it can be so much easier than you're making it out to be. And then the next step is to dream. So once you understand how it works, then it's really easy for you to place your order into the universe, right? To expand what you believe is possible for yourself. Expand the vision for your life. Then you dare, right? Dare is to take action on your dreams. That's when, after you place your order, you're not just sitting in meditation all day and visualizing. That's good, but there's more, right? It's not just, oh, everything's just going to come to me. Yes, I have so many stories of things coming to me, but I am showing up, right? That's the alignment. We're going to get more into that on another masterclass, but that's where you really start to take action to meet the universe halfway, right? And then discover. Discover is to learn what's been holding you back from your dreams. So I always tell people this: when you start to manifest, we don't start with looking for our limiting beliefs. And a lot of manifestation teachers out there do this, and I would say don't follow them. Because what happens is, if you start with, what's wrong with me, or why am I not manifesting this, you're not asking the right questions. That's not where you want to begin. You want to begin from a place of unlimited possibility. If I could have or be anything at all, what would I be doing? Where would I be living, right? It's starting from that place of possibility, placing your order from that place, then taking the action, daring. I promise you, once you take action on your dreams, your limiting beliefs will automatically show up. You do not need to go looking for them. That's when obstacles show up, and you're, or limiting beliefs, and you think you were over something before. It's because it begins to get uncomfortable, right? You're getting to the edge of your comfort zone, or, as Gay Hendricks coined, that upper limit problem. So all of a sudden things are happening, and you're going big, and then your stuff comes up so that you can keep going bigger. And that's okay. It's part of the process. And if you know it's part of the 6-step process, then you're not freaked out when it happens. You don't need to be scared of it. You can say, oh, right, I knew this was going to happen, and I'm okay with it. What's the opportunity here in this obstacle? What's the lesson? What can I let go of? All of those questions, right? That's that discovery process. But you don't start there, because if you start there, you're never going to get started. You're going to come up with all these reasons why it can't be, and you shouldn't do it. So we don't start there. That's number 4. Okay. Then it's detach. Detach is to learn to let go of your dream in order for your dream to come back to you. That's non-attachment, right? So here's the thing. If we trust our visions, if we expect that everything is working out for us, then it doesn't matter whether it happens one way or another way, or if you get a job with that specific company or it's another company, or if it's that soulmate or another person, right? We know the perfect situation for us is going to happen. So we don't need to be attached to it looking a specific way. We know it's all working out in our highest good, right? So that's the general essence of detachment. Again, later on, I'm going to get more in depth in some of these later in other master classes. But I wanted you to get an overall view of this 6-step process today on this call. Okay, so then it's delight. Delight is when you recap the rewards of your manifestations. That's when all those synchronicities come in, right? And it's the things that you wouldn't have even dreamed up for yourself. And this happens all the time with me, and it can happen all the time with you. That your life can be a series of synchronicities, right? If you allow it to be, and you're noticing the good all the time. And that's possible for all of us. So this is really the system in terms of how to manifest, how to awaken your natural abilities so that you can manifest anything that you want. Anything is possible. Just the fact that you dreamed it up means that it's possible. Because when we are imagining for what we want for ourselves, our imagination is how we tap into our intuition. So you've probably heard me talk about this before, but our imagination is basically a tool into our intuition. So we can imagine what we want, and we're tapping in to the universe's dream for us. We're receiving the dream. We're receiving the universe's vision for us as well. So it's less about making things happen and more about receiving and allowing and aligning and taking action from that place. So that's where that detachment step becomes a whole lot easier, because we trust everything is working out for ourselves, right? We expect it's going to happen. So here's some mistakes that I've seen people make over and over again. We manifest what we're comfortable with, what we can imagine. So this is really all about opening up our imagination to allow in even more possibility, right? So if your thoughts create your reality, what are you believing is possible for you right now? A lot of people are sending mixed messages to the universe, like at the restaurant that I talked about, right? Where you place your order and then you're in your head second guessing your order. So let's stick to our decisions and feel good about our decisions, trusting our intuition. So I want us to get into step number 2. I talked about demystifying in the beginning, right? About how manifestation works. That was step number 1. Step number 2 is dream. So I want you to get out your pen, get out your paper, and start writing some of these things down. Okay? What does your dream life look like? Just imagine, right? Don't hold back here. If money weren't an obstacle and you were totally supported by the universe, what would you want to create? Okay? This is your opportunity. Again, I talked about Saturn going direct today. It's time to create a new dream. Even if you've done this work before, we can always do this again, because you've manifested other things and it's time to manifest what you want now. Or maybe what you thought you wanted changed. And that's okay. It's giving yourself permission to write what you really want. Think big. Don't let time or where you're at now get in the way. Don't let whatever situation or circumstance you're in get in the way of what you really want. The more outrageous, the better. And then when you write it down, you want to get specific. The universe loves details. The more specific you get, the more real you make it. Again, when we detach, which is one of the steps, even if we've gone specific and it's not with that particular person we had in mind or that particular company we had in mind, Because we got specific, we were able to feel it and envision the characteristics of it. What does it feel like to live in that house or in that neighborhood or work with those people at that type of caliber of a company, etc. And because we were specific, we can really tune in to the specifics of the situation. And then that allows you to manifest it, whether it's with that company or not, or that home or not, or that soulmate or not. You get it? But we can feel into it more. Manifesting comes from a feeling place when we've gotten specific. So we want to be specific with our details of what we really want. Then it's going to be a whole lot easier to manifest it. Okay. So here are the areas that I suggest you write in. So, you know, these are the areas that I think are good for everybody to think about when you write down what you want in your life. Talk about your home. Your home is your first chakra. It's the grounding place. So talk about where you live. Your health, again, how do you envision your health in your body? How do you take care of yourself? Your love, romantic love, right? Love of yourself, your friends and your community. Write about your career. What does that look like? Or creative projects. Could be tied to your career, might not be, right? Financial abundance. Talk about how much money you make, how much money you have in your savings account, etc. Right? Travel. We're going to be all traveling again very soon. So where do you want to travel to? Spiritual practice. What does that look like for you? Do you have a spiritual practice or daily habits that make you feel good? Giving back, right? So it's when we have everything that we want, how are we giving back? I think that's very important to write down. And then leisure, other activities that you do to make yourself feel good, self-care. So these are all the areas that I think are really good to write out. If we can write out all these areas and allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to dream bigger, then we can really manifest it. Okay? So most important is to write in the present tense. You always want to write in the present tense because the universe always works in the present. Everything is happening now. So it might feel weird at first, but just have fun with it when you write it out. It's a playful activity. The more fun you have, the more results you'll see. Trust me, because if you notice, my whole approach is a playful approach. Anything that I've manifested, it's this playful, like, ooh, let's just see, right? It's almost like a game. And I created a board game, right? For adults. It's what's possible? Let's, why not? Right? And play. So that's that permission. Anything goes, right, in the present tense. It's all good. So when you write, it's going to be things like, I have this, I am that, I feel this. It's not, I will be, because if you say I will, then it's always going to stay off into the future, right? If it's I want, you're in lack because you're reaffirming you don't have it now versus being in an abundant state. This is not necessarily how you're talking to everybody in the world. This is how you're writing out your order to the universe. It's in the present tense, okay? So the sooner you can start speaking in the present in your order, the easier it will be to actually manifest. And I want to share an example of this from one of my clients who I worked with. So Elicia, and that's her husband Doug, they actually hired me for a VIP day where we did this process of envisioning, right? And they saw things and gave themselves permission to see things that they had never seen before. They were living in Atlanta, and they allowed themselves to dream big and dream into living in Costa Rica. They gave themselves permission. Actually, they had a nice life, but wouldn't it be even nicer if we lived in Costa Rica? So they also had an idea to write a book together, and then they had an idea for a radio show, and it manifested their radio show. Then they joined my manifestation masters program because, by the way, after our visioning session, they made their monthly goal for revenue in 3 days. 3 days. It didn't take them a month to make their monthly goal. It happened in 3 days because they allowed themselves to feel into the vision. And manifesting happens from a feeling place, right? So if we can allow ourselves to envision it, then it's going to be a whole lot easier to manifest it. So I want to share, let's see, a little video. Let me just see if I can show their video, because I did a little interview with them, and I want you to see their place in
put
Costa
out your
Rica that they
Sparked
manifested.
game,
and then you wrote your book, and I bought both of those. Manifesting Made Easy, and then it was like about the time that I was just needing a little bit more support. So I reached out to you, and we actually worked, the three of us together before we joined Manifesting Masters, and we did a visioning half VIP there.
Yeah.
And that's what felt the most given our current situation.
Yes. So we did a visioning session, and tell everybody about some of the things that you guys envisioned for your life. Like this was in Atlanta. You were currently living, or you were living in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And
what was that, 3 years ago?
Their picture says 1,000 words. So.
Look how beautiful.
And it's much bigger than it looks. We are pretty close to the ocean. So that's what we were envisioning.
That's so funny. Exactly. So, yeah, you helped.
Any other questions?
And you manifested it. No, but for real. That's amazing. Your place is gorgeous, and I want to hear more about it.
Yeah. So I think, was that 3 years ago?
I think so.
Like that?
Yeah. Around there.
And we were coming to Costa Rica, and I think during the manifesting or the visioning session, you helped us envision a life where we could be more in Costa Rica and start to work together. And we weren't working together at that time. We were just doing our own thing. And then shortly after that, we started organically working together. We didn't even try. It just kind of happened. And then we were putting together programs and things like that. So
yeah.
Amazing. So you ended up, okay, so there's so many things that have manifested, you guys.
So much.
Yes. Amazing. So many things manifested for Elicia and Doug. And I just share that because I want to inspire you about what's possible for you all. They are living in their dream space with their infinity pool in Costa Rica, right? What do you want if you allow yourself to dream even bigger? Now they're working together. They both had separate businesses before. They've gotten closer in their relationship. So much, right? And so that's just one example, but I wanted you to actually see their place so you can get inspired. Like, they didn't have that before, but they envisioned it. And it all starts with this envisioning process for you. Okay. So I want to move on. The universe wants you to say yes to your dreams, truly. So what is the best case scenario? Order the special, right? The choices that you make right now are so important. I already shared why this time is so important, and Saturn went direct today. This is a perfect time to be doing this dreaming part, right? Step 2 in the 6-part process. So do you want to stay a caterpillar, or are you ready to become a butterfly? So what I want to do is I want to do my prizes. I'm giving away prizes, and it's all through the chat. So what I want to do is, the prizes I'm going to give away today are, I'm going to give away one signed copy of my book, Manifesting Made Easy, which is here, and an autographed copy of Manifesting Made Easy. And I'm going to give away one of my board games, Sparked, which is here, which is an adult board game, age 16 and up. You can play it with the people at home who you're living with, or you can play it virtually. I've played Sparked games over Zoom these days, which is really, really fun. But it's a really awesome game. I can't pick this up without it all falling out. But it has a spin wheel, and there's different cards and a magic wand, and it's really awesome. It's non-competitive and sparks conversation. So what I want you to do is share in the comments what you are manifesting. Type it in. Type in what you are manifesting. I'm going to see your name show up. And once I see what you are manifesting, then we're going to pick a winner for the board game and the book. And then in order to win the grand prize, you also need to participate in this, okay? So comment what you're manifesting, share your dream, write it in the present tense if you can, because if someone has attended all 3 of these lives, one person who has commented for all the prompts on all 3 of my master classes will win a Manifest Magic Power Hour with me. So I can't wait to read what you are writing. And, you know, people pay me to have these visioning sessions. You've seen what Elicia and Doug have manifested, worth $1,800. So I'm super excited about giving one person that grand prize as well. So I will come back to the comments. I'm so excited to read all of them. I'm loving seeing what all of you guys are manifesting. Yes, awesome. Okay, so what I want to do is, now that you're clear on what you're manifesting and you've placed your order in to the universe, I want to step into the vision. I know we're almost at the hour, but I really wanted to do a visioning with you guys on this call. So let's take like 10 minutes if you're willing to stay on for another 10 minutes with me. And we'll do a vision so we can step into the vision of you actually living this dream already. Because again, manifesting starts from that feeling place, okay? So we can feel into it now in order to manifest it. Okay, so let's step into the vision. I invite you, once you're done, everybody's commented on what they're manifesting, to be a part of that contest and win either a book or a game and be entered into the grand prize. Then we will step into the vision. Okay, so I invite you to close your eyes. Again, we're going to just do a short visualization, and we're going to go about 10 minutes long because I want to make sure I answer any questions about this process as well. So get into a comfortable place. I'm going to have a sip of water before I do it. Okay. All right. Clear my throat. So, all right, eyes are closed. We're going to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth like I just did. And release any tension you have. Inhaling again. This time exhaling through your nose. Inhaling your shoulders up and back, and exhale, release them down. And now just allow your breath to come to normal, just inhaling and exhaling in your nose and out your nose. We're going to add a mantra. So a mantra, silently saying to yourself on the inhale, Sat, and on the exhale, hum. So inhaling Sat and exhaling hum. Sat, hum. Sat, hum. Sat, hum. Now focusing on your third eye point, the point between your eyebrows, you can gently let the mantra fade away. And as you inhale, imagine a white light coming down from the sun or the universe into the crown of your head, and it reaches your heart center. And then on the exhale, the light expands throughout your body. So inhaling the light down into the crown of your head, into your heart. Exhale, it expands from your heart, and the light fills your entire body, relaxing you. Inhaling the light from the universe into your heart, Exhaling, allowing that light to fill your body to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Inhaling the light down from the universe into the crown of your head, into your heart. Exhaling, allowing the light to expand throughout your body. Inhaling the light in. Exhaling, allow the light to expand about a foot beyond your body, increasing your aura. Inhaling the light in, into your heart. Exhaling, allowing the light to expand about 2 feet beyond your body, increasing your aura, feeling yourself vibrating at a higher frequency now, focusing on your heart. Feel the light in your heart expanding and radiating out. As you stay here at your heart center, bring a gentle smile to your face. And now I want you to imagine that you are at a celebration, and it's a celebration in your honor because you have manifested your big dream. Where are you and what are you celebrating? Really take in all of the scenery. Are you outside or inside? Who's there with you, celebrating with you? Notice what the air smells like. Notice the colors and the textures of your surroundings. How does it feel to have manifested your big dream? You're so happy. You're feeling so proud of yourself. And you're so grateful for everybody who showed up to support you. Oh, and look, 2 more people just came who you weren't even expecting to show up. And you're so happy they're there. What are people saying to you as they come up to you and congratulate you on manifesting your big dream? You're feeling so good, so grateful for all of the moments and synchronicities that led to this moment right now. Notice if there's any food or drinks at the celebration. If so, what does it taste like? In your mind's eye, looking down at yourself, what are you wearing? And how does it feel to have that on? Coming back into the scene, really taking it all in. You're feeling so grateful for every single opportunity and synchronicity. Grateful for yourself for saying yes and going for your dream in the first place. This has been the best day ever. And now the celebration is coming to a close and you're getting ready to go home. And it's your dream home. It's your home now. Maybe you're already home. If not, how are you getting there? And is anybody coming home with you? Imagine going home now. And as you approach your neighborhood, really take it all in. Notice if there are nature, trees, water, mountains. Notice if there are other buildings. What does it look like in your neighborhood? And how does it feel to be a part of this community? And now you've arrived at your home, taking it all in. Notice the colors and the textures of your home. Notice the architecture. Imagine now that you're walking up to your front door. Really take it all in. And now opening the front door, you step into your home. Is there anybody coming home with you or waiting for you as you walk in? What's the first room that you enter into? How does it feel to be home? Notice the colors and the textures of your home, the light, as you sit down and decompress from the most amazing celebration. You're so happy. And now you're getting ready for bed. Imagine you're all ready for bed and you're in your bedroom now. And you pull down your freshly washed sheets and you're about to step in and your phone rings. And it's someone calling you with a new opportunity. that's come out of the fact that you have manifested your big dream? Who's the person on the phone? And what is this new opportunity? You're so excited. Who's the first person you tell? Imagine telling them now. And now I invite you to take yourself into that new opportunity. You are already there. Where are you? What are you doing? And who's there with you? What are people saying to you in this new opportunity? And how are you giving back and being of service through this new opportunity? You feel so good and so grateful to be here. So grateful for every person who's helped you all along the way. I'm grateful for yourself. Closing your eyes in this new opportunity and tuning into your body, into your heart. Feeling that light within your heart again. Notice if there's any tension or tightness or pain in your body as you think about having manifested all of these things. If there's anything at all that doesn't feel like it belongs, on an inhale into the tightness or the tension, and exhale, release it and let it go. Allow it to dissolve in the wind. Notice if there's any grudge, limiting belief, any thought that no longer serves you because you have manifested your big dream. If there's anything at all that you're holding on to, inhale into it and exhale. Allow it to float away. Thank you very much. I no longer need you. And see it dissolve in the wind. As you feel lighter in your body, feeling all the light in your body filling you up, feeling yourself again vibrating at that high frequency, feeling your aura expanded as you gently smile, knowing that you have everything you need already inside of you. In this moment, I want you to ask your higher self, is there anything I need to know right now? And receive it. And if you didn't hear words or see a picture, trust that you'll receive the information you need within the next 24 hours through a sign or a synchronicity. Bringing your hands to your heart center, over your heart, or in prayer position, whatever feels good for you. We'll close off this visualization with 3 ohms. You can place your hands over your belly button, gently leaning forward to seal in the vision in gratitude to yourself for showing up, to the universe for always supporting you, knowing that you have everything you need already inside of you. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May you be happy and free and full of love and light, knowing you are a powerful manifestor, having awakened your natural abilities to manifest anything your heart desires. Om Shanti Namaste. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the call or the masterclass. Thank you. I love guiding people through those visualizations because you really feel it, right? Manifesting comes from a feeling place. So Once you're clear on what you want, the next question to ask yourself is, how will I feel once I have that thing that I want? Right? And then if you know how you will feel once you will have that thing you want, then you can ask yourself, well, how can I feel that way now? Right? So that's really the process. Even though you don't have what you think you want, you can still feel the way you want to feel now, which will bring about more things to you to make you feel that way. I hope that makes sense. So I can't wait to hear more about how that visualization was for those of you. Some of you have done things like that with me before, and for many of you, it might be your first time. Oops. So do we have questions? Any questions? You can type them in the box if you have questions for me. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And also, if you want to share about what you saw in the guided visualization, I'd be more than happy to answer them as well. Again, we're going to have 2 more live classes where we go into more depth of some of the other steps in the manifesting process. But if you have questions about, you know, demystifying the process, how it works, or the dreaming that we went over today, or the visualization, or you want to share what you saw or your new opportunity, then that would be exciting. So Jennifer, why do I mentally feel like I can't? Okay, let me just see if I can stop sharing so you can see me. Okay, so Jennifer said, okay, why do I mentally feel like I can't do it? So that's a great question. A lot of us feel like we can't. So we're limiting ourselves, and it's probably because of a limiting belief that either is from your childhood or from society or from past circumstances where you might have failed before, right? And so in your head, you are convincing yourself that it's not possible. And so it's really, you don't need to know the how right now. We're just in the first step, right? The dreaming step. So we don't need to get ahead of ourselves. It's just opening up to the possibility that it is possible, right? So when you have an I can't, I do not recommend switching it to I can, because if you don't believe it, it feels, you're like, I can't. It doesn't feel real. That's why affirmations, just saying affirmations, don't work for people, because it doesn't feel real. So instead of just switching the I can't to I can, you switch it to a question. How can I? So I can't becomes how can I? Then it's a possibility. You're not saying you can yet because you still don't believe it, but you're open to believing it, right? You're saying, I'm willing to believe that I can. So how can I? And therefore, the universe can show you a way that you can. So that's an easy step. Okay. Desiree, how do you really know what you want when you are indecisive? I am torn between wanting a good job, prosperity, and wanting to not be held down by a job and be free, for example. Okay, so there's a process where you can really tune into what a yes and a no feels like in your body. And I teach this, a lot, which basically is, if you're not clear on what a yes or a no feels like, close your eyes and think about something that you really love, or someone that you love. If you have a pet or a child, it's really easy. So if you think about a food that you love, like chocolate, but think about something that you really love, and then notice where you feel that in your body when you're thinking about something or someone that you love. That's what a yes feels like in your body. And then you can do the same thing with a no. You can think about something that you really despise or hate. So it could be a person, a political figure. It could be a food that you just think is disgusting. But close your eyes and think about that thing that you're just like, ugh. And imagine the thing that you hate getting right up in front of your face, so you really feel it in your body. That's what a no feels like in your body. Okay, so then you can stop feeling that. And then you're clear on what a yes and a no feels like in your body, because we're all intuitive and our bodies know the answer. When you know what a yes and a no feels like, then it's going to be easier to understand what is the right opportunity for you or not. And also, again, it doesn't have to be either or. It can be all of the above. So I hope that's helpful as well. Let me go back to the questions. Yeah. And you can have it all. So it's again, even if it feels like, oh, I'm asking for too much, it's how can I have a good job, prosperity, and be free. There are ways, right, where you can make your own schedule and be free and all that, right? So it's like, yes, and. Jennifer, I see it, but my mind says be realistic. Yes, that happens a lot. So again, most people are operating when they manifest from their current circumstances, and that's how they base their intentions. And I really want you to operate on from a place of, if anything were possible. That's how you're going to manifest bigger, because what happens is if you go really big, what feels hard right now and seems realistic or safe feels easier because you've gone even bigger and you've expanded even more than you expanded before. So now that big dream doesn't feel so big because you're like, oh, I'm going there, right? So it's opening up to more possibility. Then when you take action on the big dream, you're like, oh, that's nothing because I am doing that. Okay. Stacy, what if there were one part of my dream that felt scary or annoying, like I was anxious about this one person in my vision or dream? I wanted them there, but then I felt hesitant. That happens, Stacy. So it could mean all different things, right? It could be that you're scared, which is normal. Any new thing is scary at first. So if you wanted them there, but it was scary, sometimes what happens is our intuition, our imagination is how we tune into our intuition. And the first thought that comes into our mind is our intuition. And oftentimes our mind starts to say, no, that's not possible. And we start to judge the vision that's coming in. How many people can relate, right? So you start to try and change it. You're like, oh, no, that can't happen, and so you start to change the vision. Oh, it's got to be this. Try and do a visualization like that again, or listen to the replay when I post it, so you can really open up to what's possible instead of trying to make it right or wrong or change it. So that could be what it is, Stacey. Again, could be something else, but that's most likely what happens to most people. Bonnie, what tends to hold people back? I know it's hard to generalize. Is it one's past? Yes, it is. I mean, there's a lot of different limiting beliefs. We're not getting into all of that in this masterclass, but we'll get into more of that later on through another masterclass. Again, it's just the first thing that holds people back, honestly, is not believing it's possible. Even before you get to the limiting beliefs, it's like when you first have the idea, you make yourself wrong, or you say, that's crazy, I could never do that. And so you don't trust and allow it to come in. So it's that first time when you have the desire for something, it's allowing yourself to open up to it, right? When I first had the idea to write my book, I wasn't like, that's crazy, I could never be a writer. I just trusted it, right? And therefore I expected it to happen because I trusted that I was not just imagining, but I was intuiting. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be an author, right? Wow, that feels really good. Versus, it would be nice if I could manifest that book, but I've never done it before, blah, blah, blah. I don't know any literary agents. I don't know how to write a book proposal. So a lot of times it's that first time when you have an idea that stops people. Tracy, do you limit your manifestation to a certain time frame? I've always done a vision board for the year. Am I limiting myself? So there are ways, and I teach this in my Manifestation Masters program, but in terms of setting intentions and doing it with a calendar, you're not necessarily limiting yourself. I think it's nice to have, by when you're going to manifest certain things. But yes, you don't need to just say within a year. It could be for the rest of my life, right? Like, what do I want ultimately for my life? Whether it happens in the next 6 months or a year or in 10 years, like allow yourself to dream big for the rest of your life. So I think that's a good thing, a good practice is to allow yourself to really see the ultimate vision of what you want, where you want to go. And Ellen, I am manifesting being bi-coastal. Oh, nice. Okay, Una, will a replay be available to share and review? Yes, we will send a replay later. Manon, are we allowed to add more on my big dream? Of course, add more to your big dream. Yes, and you should journal about this after the call. Bonnie, how can I narrow my focus so I can feel less fragmented and fractured? Well, again, without knowing the specifics of your vision, Bonnie, it's hard to answer that. But I would say this, write about all areas of your life. Don't worry about the how. Then once you've written all the things down, then you'll understand. And we're going to get into this. So stay tuned for the next webinar when we get into Align, because I'm going to talk about next steps on the next masterclass about how we can prioritize so you don't feel fractured and what that process is. So great question. I'm going to answer that on the next one. Manon, meaning finance. Oh, okay, great. She just added to her vision. It's not possible to want too much. That's your own head judging yourself, right? What if your vision involves someone else and they have limiting beliefs? That happens too. So it's how can you manifest for other people or include them? Again, I'm going to share more about that on the next masterclass, but we can affect other people. Our vibration has an effect on the others in our lives. It's been proven in terms of quantum physics. And also, I've had clients manifest things for their partners. You saw Elicia and Doug and their video. Doug came on board, right? And he wasn't necessarily on board for everything before. And then they shared the vision and look at what they manifested together. So I will share that it's possible, and I'll share more about that on an upcoming masterclass. Where do we go for technical skills to bring our visions to life, such as business online, that is location? So yeah, there's so many different people offering programs to help you with online businesses. I do that in some of my private coaching. If you want to talk to me about how we can do that through private coaching or through my manifestation club, my mastermind. There are other people, I'm happy to talk to you more about it, but there's so many people that can help you. I would say look for others who've done what you want to do, or who are coaching people who are doing what you want to do, and that might be a good start. Is your book available on Audible? It's not. So maybe, write to Simon & Schuster and ask them, because I'd be happy to make an audio version of my book. It is available on Kindle. Oh, and you're welcome, Roxanne. Yeah, I'm so glad that, and C, thank you so much for your work. I have your books. It's been amazing, Booz. Awesome. So let me just share the slides again. I'm just gonna have to skip ahead. Okay, so we were at questions. Okay, so now, what dream do you want to manifest? Yes, so I really want you to get clear on this, because this is that first step in the process, right? What dream do you want to manifest? Oh, and thank you, Una. So here's the next step. We're gonna have 2 more live master classes. I'm going to answer more questions. If we didn't get to all of them, I'm going to answer them. Even Megan, I see your question that even though you're a manifestation master, you still have stuck days. How can you take care of yourself? I'm going to talk about that on the next workshop, because the next workshop is all about alignment. So I'll talk about how to get unstuck. If you're having a stuck day, what to do. So that is on Thursday. We've already gone almost 90 minutes, so I could talk forever, but we've got 2 more days full of workshops for you. So Thursday, mark your calendar, 1:30 Eastern. We're going to talk about alignment, how to become a vibrational match to manifest your biggest dreams with ease. I'll share the simple strategy that manifestation masters use to attract their dreams, even if they don't feel ready. And many of you said, I don't feel ready, or it doesn't feel possible. So you'll definitely want to show up for that. Then on Sunday, we're going to talk about actualizing. So I'm going to go more detailed into the complete manifestation roadmap for you. So the exact formula that I use to manifest and how to set yourself up correctly to meet all of your goals. So important right now, especially as I shared about Saturn and Jupiter going direct. So those are going to be really great. I'm going to be giving away more prizes, another game and another book on each of those. And we have a grand prize private session with me, a visioning session for someone who's attended all 3 of the master classes. So I am super excited to announce who has won my book. So let's see. All right, I'm just looking through the comments. Okay. Nicole, who's manifesting her book deal and her soulmate, you are going to get a copy of my book, Manifesting Made Easy, a signed copy. So Nicole, send us an email to info@queenofmanifestation.com, and you will see that I will get your address and we'll send you a signed copy of Manifesting Made Easy. So Nicole who's manifesting her book deal and her soulmate, you just got a signed copy of Manifesting Made Easy. And then for the board game, okay. So Una, you have manifested a copy of Sparked. I believe you're the only Una on the call. So Una, email info@queenofmanifestation.com, give us your address, and we will send you a copy of Sparked. We're going to give away prizes on each of these. So everybody is still in the running. Even if you won a book or a game, you're still in the running for the grand prize. And if you didn't win one of these, you're in the running for the grand prize. Just make sure you show up for each of the calls, each of the live masterclasses live, and answer whatever prompt I give you on the next 2 sessions. And then you'll be in the running for the private visioning session with me. And that one, we're going to email everybody after all 3 sessions are over. My team will get to you to make sure that we have all people in running. We're just going to pick randomly for that, for those. So I'm super excited about it. All right. So I see lots of, yay, lots of congrats. Oh, I love how supportive you guys all are for each other. Yes. I love the support. That's how it should be. It's such a great community when we all manifest together. So thank you for being so supportive of each other. Thank you all for attending. I can't wait to see you on Thursday for our next live masterclass. This is so much fun. I'm so glad that I stepped out of my own comfort zone and did something new for all of you, because I really enjoyed myself and I feel good about giving you this information in a new format and going a little bit deeper, being able to answer your questions. It's fun to be live and give away prizes and talk to you all in this way. So we're going to send the replay out. Please share it with a friend or a loved one. You can see these are just value-packed sessions. So if you know someone in your life who can benefit from this, please share it with them. We would love to have more people join our community of manifestors. And I'm sending you all love. I'll see you on Thursday. Look out for an email with the replay. And again, all the details, because it will be a new link for each webinar. So we'll send you the link for Thursday and the link for Sunday in your email as well. It won't be the same exact link. So check your email, make sure you're there live, mark your calendar so you don't miss it. Thank you all so much. Mwah, mwah. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you all very soon. Okay. Bye, everybody.